What's up, everybody? Big Cop Diesel coming at you. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about firearms insurance, liability insurance. Okay, we all carry guns. If you're in this group, if you're watching this video, that means you also carry a gun for work, whether you're a security officer or a law enforcement officer. And it amazes me when I talk to people about firearms insurance. And when I ask people if they have firearms insurance, I usually get a no, or I get, they think that I'm talking about like insurance against theft, right? But they're not carrying insurance. And guys, you need to understand that you are going to get sued. If you use that firearm, you are going to get sued. If you're lucky. If you're unlucky, you're going to be criminally charged because you violated the use of force, and you're going to get sued. Neither situation is good. How much do lawyers cost? We all know lawyers are expensive. When it comes to a use of force incident, the retainer for most lawyers is going to start at $3,500. That's how much you just got to pay down for them to even talk to you. That doesn't include all the work they have to do on your case. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh, okay, I got $90,000 in my savings. Okay, good. Do you want to spend that $90,000 defending yourself? Same thing with car insurance. Listen, I get it. Nobody wants to pay car insurance. Nobody wants to pay homeowners insurance. But you got to do it. Same thing with your car. You may have $90,000 in the bank, and you get into an accident with your car, and it costs, $40,000 to fix it. Do you want to take $40,000 out of your savings to fix that car? Of course not. That's why you pay your monthly premium for your car insurance. And speaking of premiums, firearms insurance is so cheap. I mean, I pay, I want to say $180 for the year for a $2 million policy. Guys, this is a no-brainer. So if you're the kind of person that's sitting there listening to this, and maybe you already stopped because you're like, I'm not doing that, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, you better not shoot anybody. In fact, you better not even brandish your firearm. So if you're a security professional or a police officer and you're sitting here, and this is going to obviously be more security than police, because police have other avenues, doesn't mean you're good to go. You're going to get sued too. But there's no backing, guys. If you're a security guy, and please don't think that the security company you're working for is going to have your back, because unless you sign onto their insurance policy, and if you have, drop some comments below. If you know that you're under your company's insurance, that they are going to insure you against being criminally charged and or sued, I want you to drop the comments below. And I guarantee you there ain't going to be no comments below. Because unless you sign on to their insurance policy, you are on your own. Promise you. So, easy thing to do, pay your monthly or your yearly insurance policy. I'm with U.S. Law Shield. I use them for on the job, but they're also who I'm going to call if I'm not on the job and I get into an incident. There's USCCA that's out there. They don't cover you on the job. And there's some other ones out there. So do your own diligence. I'm going to talk about U.S. Law Shield because that's who I'm with. I will put a link below if you decide that you want to go with them, but you don't have to. Go with whoever you want, but get insurance from somebody. All right? Ask the questions. Do you cover me at work? I carry a gun for work. If I lose my case and I have to appeal it, do you cover the appeal? Do you help cover the cost of a firearm? Do you cover bail if I get arrested? I can tell you one quick difference between USCCA and U.S. Law Shield right here, right now. When you call that number for USCCA, there is somebody who is going to answer that phone 24/7. It's their crisis response line. But the person you're talking to is not an attorney. When you call U.S. Law Shield and some of the others, it's not just U.S. Law Shield, but when you call U.S. Law Shield, an attorney answers that phone. And you might be asking yourself, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you call USCCA and talk to the crisis response team. Everything you say is being recorded and is subject to discovery from the other side. Whereas when you call US Law Shield, an attorney picks up the phone. Everything you talk about on that phone call is privileged, meaning it does not have to be given to the other side. So those are important things to think about. Now, if you're sitting here listening to this and you're like, I'm not going to get insurance, okay, again, don't use your firearm. And the only other kind of person that would sit here and say, I'm not doing that, is somebody that tells me you don't intend on doing your job to begin with, right? You're carrying a gun, you're walking around, you're looking cool, you may be bragging to people that you're carrying a gun, or they can see it if it's open carry. That's all fun and games, but when it comes time to do security shit, you ain't gonna do it. Because in your mind, you're like, I'm not shooting anybody, so I don't need insurance, okay? So whichever side you're on, you need to think about it. If you're somebody that's serious about the job, because remember, people are depending on you. They are paying you to respond. They're depending on you. They're expecting that when the shit hits the fan, you're going to do what needs to be done. So you're either going to rise to that occasion and do it, which is great, awesome, because that's me. You want to be protected. Remember, you're always going to stack the deck in your favor. If you're in the other camp and you're just kind of putting on a show and it looks cool and all that, but when the shit hits the fan, you're going to be out. Yeah, you don't need insurance, but I would also highly encourage you to find another job, because you can walk around with all your tactical gear and look cool and all that, and I promise you, when the shit hits the fan and you fail to act, you will be ruined for the rest of your life. Don't take my word. Look up the police officer that failed to act during the Parkland school shooting. Google Parkland school shooting security guard, and there's pages about this lame who froze. He didn't do his job, and as a result, more kids died than needed to. Now, what was his motivation for even taking the job? Maybe he figured out, because I believe he's a retired sheriff's deputy or a retired cop, and he took the job thinking, oh, it's just a school job, it's nothing's ever going to happen. And like I talked about in one of the other videos that I just did, complacency kills. You go to the same job, you do the same, or maybe different sites, but the same kind of job. You never have any problems. You've been doing it for 6-7 years. There's never been an issue. But when violence happens, guys, violence is not going to make an appointment with you, okay? I guarantee you, every security officer or police officer that's been involved in a deadly force incident, their day started off the same as it always does. The only difference was violence visited them that day. And the question is, are you going to act? Are you going to do what you say you're going to do? And if you are, again, kudos. Stack the deck in your favor. Have some damn insurance so that you don't go broke trying to defend yourself. And if you're not going to do what needs to be done when the shit hits the fan, go do something else. Go do something else. Go work at Walmart. Go work at McDonald's. There's plenty of jobs that you can go work at where you don't have any expectation of responding to a threat. All right, guys, get some insurance. I don't care who you get it with, but I do want you to check out both. Check out USCCA, check out US Law Shield, check them all out. There is a website, and I don't know what it is, but if you just Google firearms insurance comparison, one of the companies has like this chart, and it has all the companies, and then it has the columns, and it says, bail you out, check, some do, some don't, and go through that list. That way you can make an informed decision for yourself. But if you're carrying a gun, you need to have insurance. All right, everybody, that's my rant for today. Keep your head on a swivel. Times are getting crazy out here, guys. Until next time, Cobb Diesel.